Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy, Love and Light. Awareness for me has illuminated different patterns and cycles that have been reoccurring within the generations prior to me. And I was able to understand and to see and to migrate away from those patterns and cycles and create new patterns and new cycles. But not everyone has picked up my new pattern or my new cycle. And some of the generations that come after me are still using old information and old territory to navigate through their current position. Not so much walking away from disruptive patterns or inadequate cycles for spiritual or even evolutional growth, right? But they're hankering into what they feel is their only direction, and they're re-engaging those same patterns, but now they're starting with a new generation. And I'm afraid that if they don't if they don't become aware and use their ascension to illuminate the outdated patterns and cycles that really have no benefit, they just leave you in a cycle of distress. They can't see this because they have not yet embraced complete awareness, which gives them a clouded vision of where they are, what they're looking at, and what the next steps should be. So when you see that patterns or cycles may be broken by one generation but reenacted by another generation, it's not your fault. You did the right work. You recognized the illusions, the false visions, the inadequate patterns, the cycles that really have no benefit, and you broke them. And yes, it is possible that other generations that come after you might not see what it is that you did in order to change because they're not yet aware of their spiritual existence, or even that they control the direction of their future by the choices, the movements, and the mindsets that they hold on to, or even put life into. Before you or I point fingers, we all need to realize that patterns and cycles are here to help just as much as they're here to hinder. So when you're able to see patterns and cycles from maybe generations before you that ended badly or didn't offer positive potential, and you stop engaging in those patterns and cycles, then you would have become aware, and you would have allowed yourself the ability to see what may have been a way of life but now is no longer working. And you've made the changes in order to break those cycles. Generations that come after, they may not have the same awareness. They may not see the same patterns and cycles in the manner in which you do. That doesn't mean that you don't stop trying to, let them know that there's a better way to handle things, a more empowering way to recreate a pattern, or even to enhance a cycle for benefit. And they need to learn at their own pace. But what I do know is that if you stop telling or showing or being a cycle breaker, a pattern breaker, then you would have broken patterns only to be reestablished by others in your lineage in more current times. That doesn't mean that you did something right and they did something wrong. That just means that they may need to take a little bit more time to see how patterns and cycles of past generations affect them in their everyday life. It's a little bit of a wait, but there's always benefit at the end, because everyone who stays with the comfortability of an old pattern or an old cycle is doing it because they're afraid. They're afraid of change. They're afraid of blame. They're afraid that maybe they are the blame for not changing. And then that might come with heavier hearts, because they're still not aware that they control their path by the emotions, the movements, and the mindset that they have. Just keep sending positive, loving energy, and keep moving in the manner in which your new awareness has brought you a wider perception of. There will be a time that they will see that you did break a pattern, that you did reroute a cycle, that you did allow the enhancement and the energies of success and a completion to enter your field, and maybe they might do it too. So all hope is not lost, but just keep giving positive energy and moving in the direction that you know you're being guided to go. Time will tell whether or not they will listen to the sensations that are alerting them to ask questions, to start their awareness, to achieve their ascension, to recognize, to realize, and to remember that we're all in control of whatever patterns or cycles that we choose to add life into. If you need any help, I'm always here. You're never alone. And sometimes we're too close to a pattern or to a cycle, and we don't really know where to begin or how to look or even which way to go. But the right way, the best way, the most productive way would be to head into that pattern, that cycle, and put a wrench in the spoke. Stop it midstream and rewrite that story, and believe in your conviction and allow your admiration for success to fill your energy, to give you the courage and the strength that you need to make that choice and to stick with it. And whether you recognize all the patterns and all the cycles is time to tell. But as you continue to become aware and continue to ascend, these patterns and cycles, they will rise to the surface, and they will show you where they did right, where they did wrong, and where you can improve, where you can maybe even rip it all down and rebuild it, and show through your movements that patterns and cycles don't have to negatively affect when you have the ability to rewrite your story. My lovely collective, I can't wait to hear what patterns and cycles you've noticed and how you were able to rewrite your story, and how much healing energy you send to others, encouraging them to recognize, to remember, and to be aware of what's around them and how these patterns and cycles could be affecting them in their present life, or even, trickle into their future life. My lovely collective, no matter what you do, I am always sending you love and light. Blessed be, my lovely collective.